How's it going, YouTube? This is Skull, and welcome to episode 38 of Zootopia on home video. Today, I will be showing off the last of the Zootopia releases in Brazil, and as with the previous two, thank you to LBR in Brazil, viewer of the channel, for helping to hook me up with these releases so that I can show them off to you guys. Today, we're going to be looking at the 3D release of Zootopia in Brazil. So, as you can see, it is pretty much exactly what we're used to seeing in the United States here. It's pretty much the exact same design. No slipcover. There's no slipcover for any of these releases from Brazil. They just came loose like this. So it would have been nice to see a lenticular cover like we got here in the States, but oh well. We still got the nice design, Nick and Judy down here and all the main characters surrounding them, including a giraffe that I've never seen before. I've talked about that. We have Blu-ray 3D up here, and that's it. This is a single disc. There was no combo pack. There was no bundle where you get the 3D and the Blu-ray in a single release. No, it was the 3D, and that's it. Which is fairly unique, but I also understand it. 3D was never really that big in Brazil. I mean, frankly, it wasn't that big most anywhere. Most other countries, when they offered a 3D release of the film, threw in the Blu-ray as sort of an incentive for you to buy the 3D. Brazil, it was so seldom used, it was almost seen as more of a deterrent. So they just released the 3D by itself, and I assume it sold fairly well because it wasn't that hard to get this. It wasn't that hard for LBR to procure one for me. So anyway, 3D or Blu-ray 3D up there. That's it. No disc, no digital code. None of the Brazil stuff had digital codes. No surprise. We got the Zootopia logo as well as the tagline there. Essa Cidade é o Bicho. I am sorry. And then the Disney 3D Blu-ray logo down here. Apenas 3D. I assume that means only 3D or in 3D or exclusive 3D, something like that. The spine is exactly what we're used to seeing. The Disney 3D logo, Zootopia with the tagline, and Judy there at the bottom. Otherwise, completely blank, very plain. I kind of like how simplistic these spines are, but I'm so used to seeing more information, it almost feels like it's a knockoff or a bootleg, or it's almost incomplete. It's not, it's real, but that's just like because I'm so used to seeing more. And then we got the back. This is pretty much the back that we've seen in every other 3D release throughout the world. No characters, just the palm tree and a summary of the film, as well as all this information here. We do have this warning, this, what do you call it? This, hey, idiots, in order to see this film in 3D, you need to own a 3D TV, a high-speed HDMI cable, a 3D Blu-ray player, and 3D glasses. Like, if you want to watch this in 3D, you need a way of watching it in 3D. Then we have all the specs, all the legalese down here, all that stuff. So, yeah, and just like with the Blu-ray, I've mentioned this before, it's Region A only. Now, this is interesting, actually. The disc is, I think this is the exact same design as what we saw on the Blu-ray. We're used to seeing with the Brazilian releases the discs sharing the cover art, but the 3D disc is actually the same cover design as the Blu-ray. But this side, this solid color on the Blu-ray was blue, and on the 3D version, it's silver. I don't know why silver is the de facto color for 3D, but it seems that it is throughout the world, at least for Zootopia. Maybe for other films as well. I don't know why, but it is a way of sort of making it a little bit uniform. And as you can see there, the back is the exact same panoramic of the film that we saw on the back of the Blu-ray. I'm actually going ahead and take it out again so I could show it to you again. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same art, no difference whatsoever. Which is cool. It's kind of hard to see in this frosted plastic look. It's the exact same case as well, a European style case with frosted plastic texture on the inside. A much more higher quality case than the ones that we get here in North America. You can make the argument that they're less environmentally friendly that way, but it's a nice sturdy case, so I like it a lot. Then you got the disc itself, which, I mean, you guys have seen it. It's that design, 108 minutes, 3D Blu-ray, and, of course, Region A only. Once again, I have no way of testing whether it will work in other region players or not. The DVD that I have worked on my player despite being a mismatch. I only have Region A Blu-ray, 4K, and 3D Blu-ray players, so I got no way of testing this to see if it works on Region B or C. I do know that the 3D release of Spider-Man No Way Home was exclusively Region B and will not work in Region A players. So there is precedent for region locking in 3D movies. I'm not sure if this is one of them or if it just says Region A and it will work anywhere. I do not know, and I have no way of finding out. If you guys can figure it out, please let me know. I assume that the number of Europeans watching my channel who have access to a 3D player and 3D TV and a Brazilian copy of Zootopia on 3D, I assume that number's very low, like 0. But if anyone does know, if anyone can find out for me, I would appreciate it. I'll be happy to make a follow-up video, or at the very least a pinned comment giving everyone the extra information that they might be looking for. In any case, this does work in my player just fine, and it has all the extra stuff that you would be that we're used to seeing. So the Portuguese version of the film has the jaguar. The English version has the moose. But there is one language on here that's not on the DVD or the Blu-ray, and it's not Thai. Thai is not on here. The third language is Spanish. Yeah, that is very surprising. Like, I was expecting for it to be the exact same film from the DVD and Blu-ray, just converted to 3D, but no, it's Spanish. And it just piggybacks the English dub. Or, yeah, the English video, so English dubbed into Spanish. The Portuguese version is its own thing, though. Very interesting. Like, they threw me yet another curveball. The Brazilian copies of this film are just the gift that keeps on giving, I guess. And I also need to point out, since it's a 3D disc only, there's no bonus features. They usually don't put bonus features on a 3D disc. That's part of the reason why in North America they usually bundled 3D with the normal Blu-ray, so they only put the Blu-ray, they only put the bonus features on the Blu-ray and leave the 3D disc for more bandwidth and bitrate to provide a superior picture. That does mean for the single 3D only releases, there's no bonus features whatsoever. So if you were in Brazil and you wanted the absolute best way of watching Zootopia, you would have to, like, if you wanted to watch the film in 3D and see all the bonus features, you would have to buy the film twice. Just how they decided to do it down there, I guess. So yeah, this is as opposed to our Target exclusive 3D Blu-ray, which was I would consider the most complete package when it comes to Zootopia. It comes with pretty much every way of watching the film except 4K, which didn't even exist at the time. I would call this an inferior way of watching it because you could buy it, you could watch it. You know, seeing this with the Jaguar in 3D is pretty cool, but you're missing out on all the bonus features. You're missing out on all the extra stuff, the reasons to own the film physically instead of just streaming it. Of course, you can't stream 3D, so touche. Man, the Brazil releases were kind of all over the place, weren't they? Like, they really threw me for a loop, that's for sure. Saw a lot of stuff here we don't see anywhere else. We saw a lot of stuff from other places that we don't see here. But this is part of the reason why I love making these videos and why I love collecting Zootopia home video, because it turns out, even for something as seemingly trivial as getting a copy of a film from Brazil, it can add a lot of information and it can give you a lot of really interesting stuff that we haven't seen yet. But with that, we have finished looking at every single release of Zootopia from Brazil. It was just the DVD, the Blu-ray, and the 3D that were released on June 4, 2016. 9 years and not a single new release since then in Brazil. I guess we'll see what Zootopia 2 brings for the country. Once again, thank you to LBR for sending me all of these copies of Zootopia from Brazil, for helping to hook me up with them. Much appreciated. And I believe that actually wraps up all of my home video releases thus far that have been procured by viewers of the channel. So maybe there will be more in the future. I'd be shocked if there weren't. There's a lot of people who are willing to help. I'm sure there's still a few regions out there where you guys have something and I don't have it yet, and you'd be happy to help me out. I guess we'll see. I'm not asking. I'm just saying it's kind of how it's turned into with this. That's all. So let me know if there's any other copies of Zootopia on home video you want for me to cover in the future, and let me know in the comments if you learned something with this video. I'll be back next week where I will be starting with another region, which is a complete subset that I have for that region. So yeah, I believe that's the final subset that I have for a complete region so far. So yay, something to look forward to. Thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned for more.